actually did the bad play. I hoped for it, but I was like, there's no way they will do it. That was game-losing decision. They lost absolutely everything, and we don't care. Our opponent has literally 3 cards. Bro, we just started the game. Look at this. They will have 1 card. Let's draw 3 cards, shall we? How about we lose 4 life, both of us, and we discard 2 cards. I think it's a fair deal. I also will discard, bro. Like, you are not getting hit more than I am, right? Right? Welcome, guys, and today we are playing a new discard, as you can see, and the Ninja Turtles brought one of the craziest discard cards into standard, obviously, because now we have this card that can either discard 2 cards for 3 mana, which is kinda standard, but if your opponent has no cards, or you don't want to, you can draw 2 cards, and that's massive. If you ever play the discard, you know exactly what will happen. They will at some point just, you know what, let's just make sure that our opponent has no cards, shall we? I mean, that's kinda the charm of the deck, and charm is only for us. If you ever played this card, you know exactly how it works. Early game, those cards are amazing, but then it's like 0 cards, you draw, okay, I can discard 2 cards, but my opponent never has a card. Well, with this Shredder's Revenge, you actually can draw cards, get your big stuff, and it's just premium. Okay, so our opponent has literally 3 cards. Bro, we just started the game, look at this. They will have literal 1 card. We just started the game. Let's see. What will you play? Oh, they just discarded the whole hand. Let's make sure that the next draw is nice. We play Surveillant to avoid top decks like this. See, guys, this is basically an extra card that we just got, because this land was completely useless. They have 1 card. Guys, roulette. Cue the roulette spinning sound, because this is what we are doing here. This, if it fizzles, they lose the game. Was this a fizzle? I mean partial, but also allows them to play the game. If we hit another discard here, that would be perfect. However, we can go for Bandit, and normally this is really nice hit, because they just refill. But against our deck, we can hit 50% of this. Oh yes, the pain starts. And let's go for Annex, because we need more cards that discard. Like, for example, this beautiful swamp with really cool art. I have to say, I like it. Man, the land art is one of the pillars of Magic, like no joke. I actually love them. Okay, so now we are going to offensive. We cannot find our cool discard card, so you know what we'll do? We'll just play Demon, Annex, and Annex, especially that, look at the discard. Well, all the cards that would answer Demon were just discarded. Alright, so we start with the Demon, we can even level up the talent, and man, you can see, and by the way, the fun part is, because this can draw you cards, we also, what they're doing, okay, sacrificing stuff, sure. Because this is never a dead draw, we can just pack a little bit more discard, because it doubles as the card draw, which in mono black, man, we kinda need this stuff, you know? It's so hard to find, you know, solid draw for mono black, and as you can see, we beat one of the top 4 decks in standard. Alright guys, here we go. I had to include hexes because I was testing the deck, and I'll tell you, standard is just unplayable if you don't have removal. See, this is exactly what I mean. I lost so many games because I was forced into being on the draw, and you know, I just couldn't keep up. So now we just transformed like Black Suns, because that's what I originally played, into 4 hexes. So you can play the game even on the draw, which is normally not the case. So yeah, now we are fully prepared, and as you can see, we are already hitting the first victims with this. That's why we test the deck, so you have the final cool version on the video. Our opponent is playing, guys, what is this? This is Storm Chaser's Talent Ugin deck. Okay, so this is a control, and they are using this for level 2 and level 3, potentially as win con. Okay, this is actually different. Like, I even considered using it in like a control deck, and I think it's kinda cool. Let's get Grotto, so the next draw is great. I think we can. Which probably means we don't need to waste this, but I will still waste this. Why? Because it might lower the selection. Maybe they will have to discard the card that they planned for the next turn. Alright, sweep. So yeah, this is a control deck. And I hope that they will hold the extra card. Which means they get zero, absolute zero cards. Oh my, look at those bombs. Especially this one. Like, drawing 2 cards in this card matchup is absolutely game deciding. Sometimes 1 extra card just wins the game, you know, because they just drop it. They will probably take the water bending. Yep, whatever the name is. Spirit Water Revival. How about... No, you are not getting it. Listen, with this card, and we are standing by it, you are not having the new cards. Or the old cards. I guess it's an old card by now. So, we are already dealing damage. Soon we'll start drawing cards and we can go for the demon. And this is our win con, especially the cool part about this, right? Normally, very often it gets removed. Well, it won't get removed if your opponent had no cards, and this is a random top deck. They couldn't save removal from like the early game, mid game, and you know, whatever game. So now this has really high chance at surviving, and we have really high chance of drawing second one in a row. We only played 2, so those 2 were exactly 100% of the demons from the deck. That's kind of funny. So next turn we are doing 2 cards and pushing absolute massive damage. Let's hit. Man, I wish we got this card. We have so many of those. Tap, draw a card. However, we still get the counters because it survived, which means 2. See what I mean? This is game decider. This was exactly what I tried to get. Oh my... Consult the Star Charts before they untap the blue mana. See, guys, this is absolute cinema. Like, oh my god. And now we are drawing cards every time they don't have stuff. We're dishing tons of damage on the next turn. Man, see the difference between old version and this one? Like, this exactly did everything I hoped for. Let's draw 3 cards, shall we? And with Annex and stuff, you generally can take tons of damage usually. But, your opponent probably cannot. How about... Listen. How about my friend... Can we play another one? We could, but if they have a counter spell, then it might not go through. Let's go with this. How about we lose 4 life, both of us, and we discard 2 cards. I think it's a fair deal. I also will discard, bro. Like, you are not getting hit more than I am, right? Right? And they have nothing there at 2. Oh my... This is absolute pinnacle discard, man. Exorcise. Yep. They killed it and then they scooped because it didn't matter. Oh my god. Guys, can you see the difference? I swear, when I switched to discard, suddenly everything is just working. This was original Day of Black Sun and I switched 4 of them into 4 hexes. And since then... It's just a dream. It's actual dream. We can be on the draw and still win the game, guys. It's insane. Imagine the potential to play the game on the draw too. So, jokes aside, what do we go for? Hex. Because we want to potentially drop Aclazotz soon, which will really help with the live game. Of course, we need to kill Shredder, and we probably want to prank too before they get to 3 creatures. So let's see what exactly they're doing. This is... So far Orzhov ninjas, but could be Esper ninjas too. Oh, they have 3 cards already, that's bad. So this stays, and if we kill those, it pumps the Shredder like crazy. Shredder is a big threat, so maybe we can slow it down. Okay guys, we need to make some cool plays here. We can discard the whole hand, or drop the Aclazotz. This actually doesn't do much. Guys, I think this is actually the main play. Do we play the talent? That's the question. I mean, what else can we do? So we start with this because there is a chance that they have 2 lands. In which case this will do the same effect as Revenge. And then we can draw a card. Nope, okay. Listen, just making sure. This was a superior play, by the way. Like, we would cast those 2 cards anyway, so the ordering... Bro, I'm pretty happy about this card. And I told you it could be Esper, because Esper ninjas are... They top the Kaito? No, they cannot play it. What did you get? Okay, this is fine. This is fine. It's good for them, of course. It's amazing draw. It pumps damage. It gives them another beaver. It gives them scry. It kills our, talent. Insane draw. But, Kaito is still better. But I guess it wouldn't be better because they cannot play it. Sorry about that, guys. I guess I recorded a little bit too much lately. So we could, you know what? We can go Aether Aclazotz. Or momentum right. Wait, if we draw a land... Okay, if we draw a land, we can play both of those cards. Okay, we need this to whiff a little bit, and we can do it. They can attack for 5. I count it as a whiff. I count it as a whiff. Good. This is what we expected. Land from the top and we win. I mean, not exactly. We could attack. We could attack and draw the card. Or we can... So, if they lose this... Man, what do we do? Okay, I think I know. We attack first, because we probably will discard... Okay. Demon. And we have the... They did it! They actually did the bad play! I hoped for it, but I was like, there's no way they will do it. Well, see ya, bro. See ya, bro. That was game-losing decision. They lost absolutely everything, and we don't care. Like, this comes back. That was the blunder of the whole game. They probably won't win from here. Yeah, they are just absolutely cooked, man. Guys, it's funny because I hoped for this, but I was like, there's no way they will do it. Well, they did. Guys, here we are on the play with a Hex, and we can enjoy and savor this moment. While I will tell you what I'm excited about with the new card, because it seems very similar to Cruelty, right? How about the fact that those are two different cards? And it's like, Sloth, obviously, like, they are different cards. But you know what it means? You have 8 effects like this in Standard. Previously, I believe we didn't have 3 mana discard 2 cards. Or anything like, you know, that can be useful. This one deals damage, which we need, because we combined it with Bandit talent, and the other one is drawing cards. So both of them have, like, good upside, and now we have 8 cards that do pretty decent thing. So I'm kinda hyped for it. However, I'm not hyped for taking damage to the face. Because our opponent will still have few cards, and what do they have? Angelic... I honestly wanted to make the deck with this card, but it feels a little bit slow. But man, it's such a cool card. Like, I think this should be the type of aggro cards like we are having. You know, it's 4 mana, kinda expensive, but it makes a cool angel with flank and first strike, and when the creature dies, this is returned. So you always have like one avatar. Like, imagine how much cooler this would be instead of dropping your hand and hitting face. Then you would have like a champion for, you know, all the game, and it could be like a bit like a commander style, you know? You have like this one huge creature, but instead we will be hitting face, guys. How about that one? They are fully tapped, but this is a double strike turn. So we can either take double strike from this guy, or make sure that this dies. Because if they can pump it to double strike and prevent Hex, we might actually die. So I think this is better play. It's safer because we have Aclazotz, so we know that if we can survive into longer game, we hopefully should be okay. Like, this is a 3-3. And they will lose the only enchantment, they will only get this aura, which means that Ethereal Armor pumps by +2. So, okay, this is good. Honestly, guys, well, that's kinda annoying. So we need to go for the land, because we made still top deck untapped land, and we only have untapped lands. Like, this deck doesn't have a single tap land. I made sure of it. So we are taking 6 damage, but this is... Guys, they are out of gas. Completely. And we still have a play, even if we miss the land. Or maybe we can draw something. Tons of damage, and for... Absolutely amazing. Bandit talent isn't bad, but we want something that removes creatures more. Let's go, Aclazotz. Show them the power of the bad god. Fighting injustice in the form of mono white aggro. Alright, if that's sheltered, I'm literally rage quitting the game. Well, this is one of the best draws they could ever get. It's not sheltered, so you know, I'll take. This is such a bad attack, man. Guys, like, this is such a horrible attack. Why would you do it? I don't want to block this anyway. This is like a freebie, and we live gain, which means that this dealt no damage. Guys, this is what happens when you give top 1 deck to an aggro player. That's what happens. Alright, which means this is the only problem. That means we need to draw removal soon. So I think we will level up, get better chance at drawing, and we cannot really attack. Like, it's not worth it. This also has first strike. Like, we need to draw removal for this. We won't beat it otherwise. You know, that's the cool part of the deck. Aerialist is not the biggest problem yet. We need to take this. We need to take this, guys. And next draw needs to be good. Land and land. Oh, thank you, Shuffler, for this experience. So let me get this straight. We got matched with literal number 1 deck. And guys, yes, this is still number 1 deck in Standard, and it didn't change since like half a year, and they're not playing a single new card from like last 3 sets. Just to give you a bit of a meta rundown, I checked this. It didn't change since we made a video on this on like December last year. So, you know, just to keep it real with you. And also, after getting matched, we still won, and then we got 3 lands from the top, which is game over. We still didn't... Yeah, we lost technically, because we can block here. So the only chance is hitting this and hitting a removal and removal. I mean, no, like, those 3 draws lost us the game, guys. We were ahead. We just needed 1 removal in deck full of removal. And that's it. Outplayed by the Shuffler. Our opponent was also there. Oh, this was a painful loss. Alright, guys, we are on the draw, which is not perfect. But, we have nice removal. I mean, this is literal all types, so maybe let's go with Momentum Breaker and break some momentum. Man, the name on the card is so, like, accurate. It literally does what it says. Like, this was actually really big play. See? Suddenly the problems absolutely, you know, vanished. I still want to set up the mana and the Unholy Annex engine first, because we won't get them to 0, so they can still play the next turn normally. Like, if you don't get the last cards, they can still save the cards for the next turn. So you usually don't lower the damage or the, you know, the outcome. Let's go for this. If we can set it up, it's very hard to answer for them. And we can probably kill the next creature with Shoot the Sheriff. So even though, and we get the speed, so Momentum Breaker is activating. We also get more lands, and with Rankle's Prank, we can kill the next creature also, if they play, you know, something that is not threatening on the moment it enters. Honestly, listen, guys, we meme a lot about Sheltered on 12 first cards, and it has like 95% of happening somehow. But this is actually extremely not meaningful, because we just get it back later. We have answers already. So that's actually kinda good. 3 damage, sure. Sure, bro. We'll wait for a Momentum Breaker to get to 4 before we crack it. But Sloth, why do you play Verges? Guys, even if I explain it, I will still get the comment. I tried it. It's just inevitable. So we get this, right? Because then we get Annex, so it kinda pays the card back. We sacrifice 2 creatures, and I think we still discard 2 cards. We go this and this. Should be good enough. What's the worst that can happen? What's the worst that can happen? The point is that we are drawing 2 cards per turn and our opponent isn't. So this will get them because we are just on the start of discarding and we have draw and oh right, it's disabled for the first turn. We'll just pay 3 mana on the next turn. So still that was okay, but of course we would prefer to draw a card, but right, it resets. Okay. Yeah, I will resonate with our opponent. They indeed missed a little bit too many. Like, 1 is something that happens, but I think they lost 2 or 3. But with Annex, it's not a problem anymore. Like, now we are entering Annex against Annex gameplay. And you know what? We are way better at this because we have this card and they do not. Let's go for some Cruelty. I think our opponent will appreciate it. And by the way, they don't have a demon like we do. So this will deal damage. So the damage stacks on them way faster than us. It seems that we are not even, guys. They're at 5, we are at 20. That's how it is. We deal damage with Annex, we deal damage with Prank, and soon the talents will drop, so it gets worse. Okay. Okay, yeah, but they are low on cards, so we'll get the rest of it. So now we go Bandit talent. Yep. Get them to 0. Our opponent is not having a field day with this draw. Not only they got slow start, but now when they finally recovered, well, now it's completely different. However, do we lose life? Yeah, we are the aggressor, I feel. Because we have the talent, and talent is super important, especially that we can get them to 0. Look at those bombs! He never did. This was exactly the answer they needed. Alright? And now we can deal damage with Annex, deal damage with talent, and they cannot discard this, we can discard everything they will ever get. So they can only play cards that they, drop immediately. Scry 2. So this is like Mardu, Mardu, weird stuff. Slivers. It's Sliver deck. Alright, let's go for what? Do we have 5 mana? No. Very awkward turn for us. I still think it's worth second Annex, because this is like the biggest bump. And we can also activate this, so there is a chance we may draw sometimes cards, but most importantly, look at this drain. So now we are racing who can deal more damage through Annex core combo. And we have a head start compared to our opponent. Of course, they had bad opening. So that means we need to keep pushing before they recover. Because as you can see, they have answers to Annex. Not too many. Shelter doesn't really count, but we don't want this. And this is also life drain. And as you can see, they are forced to make a demon to try to push for more damage. Let's go for what? Cruel. Bro, this is actually cruel. Like, look at this, the last cards. Man, we are actually killing them, guys. This is actual win, because before they live gain, they get 6 damage. Oh boy, I actually feel bad for our opponent. Alright guys, we're against Elemental deck, and we have our first... Well, to be honest, this will be super good against this deck. Let's actually not discard cards, because they need to first pay mana for their cards, and then we kill them. Because Elementals are super expensive. The only downside is that we probably need to hex it at the end step, because those next plays are super... Bruh! Come on! Come on! Don't touch my Annex. It's 100% Annex. That's always the best card in every mono black deck. This card is so off the charts compared to the rest one. And guys, our opponent thought that we are bad at Magic and we cannot top deck one of the remaining 3 cards in the whole deck. Psst, jokes on them. The shuffler is on our side today. Or at least in this game. Maybe not today, but on this specific match, on this specific turn. By the way, it feels so awful when you make the play and opponent gets literally saved by a good top deck. And now we are on the top deck side, I'll take it today. I'll take it. Let's go Bandit talent. One of the cool things about the core is that you can ramp with it very nicely and very often make an extra play. And it starts to really accelerate you. Not only on the live game thing, but just having 1 extra mana. If you have this for 5 turns, that's a full 5 mana extra turn that you are getting. It seems small, but it's actually more than you think. So guys, how about some Cruelty into our lives? I probably will keep it. We will get last card with this. Let's target our opponent, keep removal at the end step, and I mean the pain starts, because once we start having card advantage and getting all the answers, they won't stack enough. They can never stack enough value in this deck, because we'll just make sure that they don't have cards. So we are potentially missing some tempo if they don't play a creature, but they win by playing creatures. So if they don't play a creature, that means we are still ahead. Okay, this... Yeah, see exactly what I mean? This is a disaster for our opponent. They will get to potentially 0 cards if we draw a land, because we can combine this and this. Yep. See ya. Cool element. Man, what is this art? Oh my god. This is not a pet I want to have in my house. That's for sure. This one looks... Okay, maybe not exactly. But this one is the coolest one, by far. Alright, back to the game. What can we do? Our opponent has uncounterable land. They still try to stack more lands for some reason. So I think what we will do is lose life. And, let's go all in. Let's go all in. Double Hex, because those are probably not very useful for the matchup. Why we deal damage? Because we are life gaining every turn, and our opponent is life losing every turn, especially with this talent. So they kept a single land, hoping for probably a Deceit top deck. So they are preparing to Deceit for 6 mana, and they hope that this card from the top can save them. And it couldn't. It's our first victim of Momentum Breaker, and they sit, and they just scoop. Alright guys. Oh, we missed the Hex on turn 1. Shame. Shame on me. We can get better value from this. I don't think they play this Malice that when the creature dies it comes back, especially with Moonshadow. It's actually anti-synergy, right? But it's probably Rakdos Monument. It's always the same deck. Like when you see Moonshadow, it's probably Rakdos net deck, you know? So we probably will kill Inti. But unfortunately we need to do it first. So we will shoot the Sheriff. Why? Because next time we can go Core into Hex, which is a perfect tempo play. They still get the pump, but at least, you know, they don't get to discard, draw a card, potential, you know, kinda the same basically. And now we can go this into this, and if we hit a land on the next turn we can drop Aclazotz, which is probably what we need to do. I was talking, so I showed priority on 1 mana. Really bad play. Honestly, really bad play. This can change the game. As an aggro player, you are checking those things. Okay, so what do we kill? Moonshadow. Let's just kill it. They can still do something else. Yeah, I literally was thinking, you don't need to believe me, I was literally calculating if the flail will make a difference when it drops. Not here, and it's not like we can do much about it. It's 1 mana, so it will drop before we get the last card anyway. Surveil is so... See, that's why we have Survey, so we can always get the right play. And Aclazotz is insane finisher in this card decks. I think this is one of the best finishers, you know, you can get. Because not only it discards, it draws, it life gains, it's also persistent. So if they kill it somehow with like last card, you just get it back. So it's like the perfect card for this deck. Cool but root. Throwing pizza from a ninja target into the face of a ninja. I mean, the ninja is lore friendly, the rest isn't. Bro, this is crazy to have cards like this. Everything is indeed pizza. We have this 5-color card, Everything Pizza. And I think it's like the best summer of the set. Alright, Inti. Let's drop. But still, we got some new cards. Man, I'm kinda hyped for the dragon. You probably know which dragon. So for this reason alone, alright, I'm actually really happy to get this type of card into standard pack again. Our opponent is just absolutely steamrolling keyboard with power that should not be achieved by a single 2-drop ever again. We can trade. Do you think... I just realized Aclazotz has synergy with them discarding lands. You know, this bat is a bit of a testimony to this. I need to remember the whole deck list, guys. Do they have pump spells? They can discard, but not at instant speed. They don't have mana for... I think this is guaranteed to work. I think they cannot push anything at instant speed. And if we can trade creatures, that's a win for us. Because they have limited amount of cards, we do not really. Like, not with Aclazotz. And especially that we have another one in the board, you know. It also makes it a little bit easier. How about... I know you like Aclazotz, here's the new one. Oh, beating the Pro Tour net deck with our cool discard as the, you know, probably final game. I'm not sure, we'll see. That feels great. Man, that actually feels great. However, we still need to get the cards. We could discard everything, forcing us to draw a card. But I think our draw here is pretty good. Let's swing. The life drain is all that matters, because that means they cannot race us anymore. Sure, they can draw a card. Oh, you want to draw a card? Sure, sure. That means we can discard it before they play it. They can deal damage or take the token, but they cannot take the... I really should read the card. I actually never read it. I just focused on the art. Whenever you attack, discard a card, draw a card. Level 2 doesn't matter. Well, this can deal damage, but they won't kill us. And search library for a card. Of course, there's a tutor. Why not? We deal damage. A lot of it. And you know what? I think that our opponent will be really enjoying some discarding. We lose life, we both discard a card because we can play without cards. This is how our deck is built, but they cannot. And what, do they get mana or damage? Both of those things do not matter, they only care about the card draw, which they didn't get because they cannot choose it twice. Which means that they will get another. Sure, how about swing in your face? Did I miss lethal with the core? No, because I just know the top card of my library, guys. And you are like, oh, Sloth is missing lethal. No, I just predict the next draws, guys. Like, Just try it, it's easy. You just predict the top cards and you win. Alright, that was cool. So guys, there it is, the new King of Toxic discard. And I'll tell you, Shredder's Revenge made the deck so much better and more consistent. I absolutely love the card so far, especially that it's only 3 mana. And with Rankle's Prank and the new bro, we have everything. I will show you the stats, it went extremely well as well. But first, our absolute legend for today is Papa Ponton, and my friend, I have a feeling that you enjoy some mono black decks. And this one is for you. I really hope you enjoyed it, and really thank you for supporting the channel and also for the kind comments in the last days. I was really happy to read them, so thank you for that. And about the new cards, special Shredder's Revenge, I think in any discard it's just a 4-off, like straight away. This is never a dead draw, which is like the biggest problem with this card. If you draw them in the late game, then they do nothing. You know, this deals 2 damage. It's still nice because you need to discard, but this just gives you such a versatility, especially in the decks that have Annex, Aclazotz, and Core, because those 3 cards give you such insane power if you can drop them, you know, in the right, you know, order and stuff. If you can get even one of them from those extra cards, it can save you the whole run. And sometimes it's, you know, it's just free value basically. Rankle Prank also was really nice because you can stack it with both removal and discard and damage, because like, look at this card. It does exactly 3 things this deck does. Discards to card, loses life, and sacrifices 2 creatures. Of course, probably the worst matchup for us is like Badger decks, because honestly, that's why I had the Black Suns in the spot of Hex. Because I think you cannot really win this matchup if you are on the draw and they have like insane perfect draw. Because they will just have 5 creatures by the time you have 2 mana. What the hell? So you can still play sweepers, but it worked for me way better with the Hex, and just try to kill the Badger or just avoid it, you know, if you can dodge it on the ladder. Alright, and with that we should probably mention the stats. We went 6 wins, 3 losses, and the last loss was literally me drawing only lands, and I had to concede because it was a no game. So I still blame the shuffler for this one. So honestly, absolutely amazing, better than I expected, and I think it's due to the fact that we are both like Demon Annex deck, but also we can completely destroy hands, which means that every slower deck just gets so heavily attacked with this. Like, you have seen basically every deck got down to 0 cards, like in first 5-6 turns, you know? It basically means they cannot play a normal game against you. And of course we still have the Demon. Honestly, so far I really liked it. Obviously it's super vulnerable to removal, so I don't think this will be like a meta card or anything. But if it survives, it just takes you straight away to a victory in like 2 turns. The first draw is not amazing, it's just 1 card, so we replace it. But when you draw the next 2 ones and swing, that's where you really get ahead. And if it can survive 2 turns, it probably takes over the game. Very similar to Annex, of course, it's also a demon, so it triggers, you know, the life gain in case you miss the core, but most of the time you have core in the board for the whole game. We play Grotto because we can surveil, and sometimes drawing the right card from the top in like 0 card situation, because you trade your cards for opponents, so very often you are both at like 0 or 1 to 2 cards. Drawing the right one makes all the difference. I think this is good, better than Fountain Port. You are so pressed for tempo, usually don't have time to activate those lands. I tried them and they usually are just too slow for this type of deck. And why Verges? A mystery, because it shows your opponent that you are playing 3 colors and they will prepare for example, inevitable defeat, Helix, all of this stuff. They will have to consider it, including Get Lost. They probably won't play too much differently, but you have no downsides, you have tons of basics, everything is untapped, and the prime mana is black, so this is basically a swamp with an upside, unless something punishes non-basics that I don't see in my games like at all. So, that was the outro. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you to all the patrons and all the channel supporters for, you know, sticking with the channel. Absolutely appreciate it, guys. And you are silent heroes of this channel. And yeah, honestly, I hope you enjoyed this card. That is a very cool archetype that just got better. And by the way, this is literally the only card that does anything with this card from the whole set. I'm sorry, Papa. I think you will excuse me. Let's check together, because I literally did this for this video. Look at this. We have like what? We can discard a card, but not from opponent. We can discard ourselves. So this is the only card, and the everything pizza. If you spend 5, 7 mana, you can discard one card. So here you go. Those are the new discard cards. So it's only this basically from the whole set. And yep, that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. See you guys tomorrow.